Hey, my fierce friends, my fellow warriors on the razor's edge of misunderstood and unbreakable. They called you strange, didn't they? Ah, I know that word all too well. Strange, odd, different, maybe even unhinged. They said it with such disdain. With that sneer that etches itself into your mind, cuts into your very soul. They hurled that label at you like a weapon, hoping it'd break you, hoping it would break you, hoping it would leave you crawling, desperate for their hollow approval. But look at you now, standing tall, owning that word strange as your badge. Your brand, the very thing that made you untouchable. They tried to bury you under their narrow definitions, their suffocating expectations. They thought they could crush that wild, untamed fire within you, force it into a neat, polished box that suited their small, comfortable world. But they underestimated you. You were born to shatter that box, to rip it open piece by piece, until there was nothing left but the debris of their shallow expectations and the unstoppable force of your true self. And oh, that first breath of freedom after breaking every chain they wrapped around you, it's electrifying, isn't it? They called you strange because they couldn't fathom you, because they looked through their narrow, limited lenses and saw something they couldn't categorize, couldn't control. They couldn't handle your fire, the blazing spirit in your heart that they will never understand. They feared you, because in their world, only the familiar feels safe, only the ordinary fits in. But you were never ordinary. Let's make one thing clear: their fear, their rejection, it became your liberation. Every insult, every scoff, every time they turned their backs, they were handing you the keys to a cage you were never meant to be in. While they locked themselves inside lives of predictable comfort, you broke free and tasted the wild air of authenticity. Their judgment became your power, their ridicule, your fuel. What they don't get, and never will, is that being different, being truly alive, means you don't blend in. Those who disappear into the crowd are mere shadows, moving through someone else's story. But you're writing your own legend, carving out a path they wouldn't dare to tread. In the quiet of their minds, when they're haunted by the lives they settled for, they envy you. Yes, they envy your courage, your audacity to stand alone, to be exactly who you are, no matter the cost. And here you are now, wearing their words like armor, laughing at the chains they thought could bind you. They tried to define you, to make you an outcast, and all they achieved was setting you apart as something they could never understand. Their attempts to shape you, they backfired. Instead of bending you, they sharpened you. Every insult, every rejection, it became part of your story, part of what makes you unstoppable. They called you strange. But that word became your identity, your freedom, because they'll never have what you have. They'll never feel the rush of walking an unmarked path, untouched by the world's opinions. They'll never know the thrill of being unapologetically themselves, without masks, without fear. This freedom, it's yours, and they can't take it. Not with their whispers, not with their judgment. You, my friends, are the rare ones, the ones who embrace the shadows, who dance in the darkness, not because you're forced to, but because you know the strength it brings. You are the storm, the fire, the edge they'll never dare approach. Let them call you strange, different, even dangerous. Let them talk. Let them whisper behind closed doors. Let them exchange glances filled with fear and confusion. They label you because they need to make sense of you. They need to confine you to their small definitions, because anything outside of it threatens their very foundation. But here's the truth they don't want to face: you are the embodiment of everything they wish they had the courage to be. See the labels they throw? They're just masks for their envy, their mockery, their distance. It's a reflection of their own self-doubt, a desperate attempt to tame what they can never control. Deep down, they wonder what it would feel like to be bold, to step into the unknown without looking back, to break the rules and never ask for permission. They imagine in secret what it's like to breathe in freedom the way you do, to walk through life untethered by expectations, to live without regret. But they can't bear the thought of it because they've shackled themselves to comfort, to predictability. They are prisoners of their own making. But you are the storm. You're the spark that ignites everything they fear and crave. And that's why they keep their distance, why they paint you with words like strange and dangerous. Because at your core, you remind them of a truth they bury deep down. You remind them that they too were once wild and free, that there was a time before they surrendered to a life of compromise. And that reminder? It terrifies them. Look at the path you've walked. Look at the scars, the broken chains left in your wake, each one a testament to the battles you've faced and the limits you've shattered. Those scars, they are symbols of resilience, of refusing to fit a mold, of carving your own destiny. And with every step you take, every boundary you push, you become more than they ever imagined possible. You've evolved, risen beyond their reach, beyond their understanding, and now you are untouchable. So let them watch, let them cling to their safe, little world while you step into the unknown. You are beyond their labels now, beyond their fears, beyond the words they wield like weapons. You've turned every insult into armor, every doubt into fuel. You are proof that there's power in being the outsider, that there's strength in walking alone. You are the fierce reminder that there's a life beyond the walls they built around themselves, a life they will never know. You are the blaze they could never extinguish, the voice they could never silence. So keep going. Be strange, be wild, be everything they were too afraid to be. Burn brighter, rise higher, and remember their limits are not yours. You are unbreakable. And this world, it's yours to conquer. So keep pushing forward, unapologetic, unyielding. Feel the weight of their judgments fall away, one sneer, one whisper at a time. Because here's the truth, they can't accept your existence challenges them. You represent possibility, the freedom they've locked away, the dreams they buried beneath the weight of conformity. You're living proof that it's possible to break free, to create a life that answers only to your own heartbeat. And that, my friend, is what they fear most. They can't look you in the eye because, deep down, they know they've surrendered to a life of quiet desperation. They know that every choice to follow the crowd, every time they silenced their own voice just to be accepted, they lost a piece of themselves. And when they see you, standing tall, blazing with authenticity, they're forced to confront everything they've denied themselves. Your courage exposes their fear. Your boldness highlights their submission. You are everything they wish they could be. They may never admit it, but you're not the villain in their story, you're their unspoken hero. You remind them of a life they could have lived if only they had the strength. And so they call you strange, different, because they don't know what else to do with the force of your presence, the sheer intensity of your truth. So wear that word with pride. Let it remind you that you're a renegade, a soul untamed by their rules, a spirit that refuses to be caged. For every insult, every dismissive glance, every door they closed in your face, you found another way forward. You've walked a path that only a few will ever dare to tread, and with every step you've risen above the ordinary, the predictable, the safe. Now remember this, they can keep their safe little lives. Let them cling to the shadows while you stand in the light of your own creation. Let them waste their time casting stones, because you're building a legacy. You're crafting a story that will outlast their judgments, a legend that no one can erase. The world will remember you not because you fit in, but because you didn't. You'll be remembered as the one who dared, the one who stood alone, the one who refused to bow. Let them call you strange. Let them label you, define you, misunderstand you. For while they live out their days bound by fear, you are the rare, the brave, the unforgettable. And that, my friend, is a power they can never take from you. So go on, be relentless, be fearless, be unbreakable.